am recording. However, if you need to come on at any point because you don't hear me, I don't make sense, you need a different pose or whatever the case may be, please come on. I'll just edit you out. It is your class first. Also, to let you know, I have a dog who has decided to stay in the room with me, but at some point he may bark. I'll kick him out. Let's just hope he doesn't. Okay. So noticing your body here on the earth. Noticing the touch points of your body on the earth. Starting from the head, moving down, maybe you feel parts of the shoulder, maybe parts of the back, the hips, the arms, the legs, what parts are touching the earth. Noticing your breath. Where do you feel your breath the most today? Maybe in your chest or in your diaphragm. Maybe you feel it the most as you inhale, feeling the air go in through your nose. Or maybe you feel it the most as you exhale, that air coming out a little bit warmer than when it went in. All right, so we're going to breathe into the diaphragm. So deep inhale in through your nose, into your diaphragm, allow it to expand. And long, slow exhales out. So maybe you stay with this breath, or maybe you go on an adventure with me and we'll go into a 3-part breath, a little different than the way it's traditionally taught. So whenever you are ready, breathing in through your nose, into your diaphragm, and then into the lower rib cage, allow it to expand to the sides. Exhale, diaphragm, lower rib cage. So inhaling diaphragm first, and that lower rib cage. Exhaling diaphragm first, lower rib cage. And then perhaps adding the third part to this breath. Your breath goes from diaphragm to lower rib cage, into the upper rib cage, all the way up to the collarbone. Then exhale, diaphragm, lower rib cage, upper rib cage. Take your time with this breath and see if you can bring in as much air as you can in each part. And then see if maybe you can make your exhales slower than your inhale. If at any point this becomes uncomfortable for you, feel free to return to just breathing into your diaphragm. So remember, this is your practice. Only do what's comfortable for you. If I share a meditation, a poem, or a quote that doesn't resonate with you, please feel free to allow my words to pass by and return to the sensation of your breath. If we come into any pose that doesn't feel right, make adjustments as you see fit, or maybe come out and come into another pose that feels right for you. Okay, so making some small movements here with your fingers and toes. Rolling around wrists and ankles. Maybe you take a big stretch here. And whenever you feel ready, rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. And then making your way up to seated. We're going to create a ramp at the head of the mat. We want the back of the ramp to be up higher than the front. We're going to be coming into a reclined pose here with different options for your legs, whatever feels good for you. So the lower your ramp is to the earth, the less of an opening there will be in the chest. So the higher it is, the more of an opening because your arms have further to come down. We want to listen to our bodies, only do what feels right. Sorry, you all know what I mean by reclined, right? You're going to be laying back here. All right. So once you find yourself all set up, you have options here for your legs. So maybe feet are mat distance apart, knees come together. Maybe legs are out long. Or perhaps you find a reclined butterfly. Knees are bent. Soles of the feet come together, knees come apart. You may need to find some props to come either underneath the knees or where the hip and the leg meet each other. Palms face up towards the sky. Also check in here with your arms and with your shoulders if it feels like too much of an opening. If you have other things around you, pillows or anything, maybe you bring them underneath your arms to bring the arms up off the earth. All right. Your breath. What kind of breath will help you settle here the most? Is it breathing into the diaphragm, or is it maybe returning to that 3-part breath? So that three-part breath can help us in a few different ways. One way it helps us to slow down the breath, helps us to relax a little bit. It brings more air, more oxygen into the body, and it keeps our minds occupied. Sometimes when the mind starts to wander into areas that maybe we don't want it to wander off into, we have monkey minds, they tend to wander. This helps to bring the mind back to the present moment. So while you are here, I invite you to bring your attention within. Take a scan of your body inside and outside. Notice if there's a part of you that wants your attention somehow. Our bodies are in constant conversation with us. There might be a part of you that is holding on to tension, trying to get your attention. Sometimes it's easier to listen to the body rather than the mind, because the mind can bring us in all different directions, try to rationalize what we're feeling, maybe brings us into fight, flight, or freeze. What is the body trying to tell you? Are there any areas that you are holding tension? Notice if there is any emotion that maybe you are holding somewhere in your body. Might be frustration, maybe feeling a little frazzled from the day or the week. Maybe it's just some tension. Hey, maybe you're feeling amazing. No judgment, just notice. Are you holding any emotions in your body? Could be anything. It might be peaceful, maybe sadness, perhaps there's contentment somewhere. Just notice. And embrace any feelings that you are experiencing just as they are without trying to change or understand them. Just notice them and hold them. And simply be with yourself just as you are in this moment. Allowing this to be your opportunity to check in with yourself without editing or judging. To be with whatever is going on within you, in your mind, your body, and in your heart or soul. It's really important how you hold yourself here. If you judge a feeling or sensation as heavy or negative, if you judge yourself for having a particular feeling, then you are interfering with the flow of that sensation or feeling to move through you. We don't want to push away anything. We don't want to hold on to anything. We allow whatever is there to go at its own time. Feeling whatever presents itself without trying to change it, without trying to bring a story to it. Know that everything is welcome. This could be the key to healing. So no worries, I'm not gonna just leave you there with that meditation. We're gonna work through whatever comes up. So making small movements here in your fingers and toes. If your knees are out towards the side, bringing the knees back together. Right, and then in your own way, coming up to seated. Maybe it's rolling over to one side first, or maybe it's gently coming up. So we're going to come into a side body bend here. So it's going to be up to you, depending on what you have for props. I'll show you with what I have, and then you can kind of play around with it and see what feels good for you. So this bolster could be maybe a thick fold or roll up blanket or a pillow. So our side body pose here is we're going to come over top of whatever our prop is, grabbing a couple of other things. They could be blocks or just depends on what you have. So we will start on the right side. So we'll come to the right side. The right arm comes out to the side. Your head's going to come onto whatever prop feels good for you. And then you have an option. This left hand can stay wherever you wish. Maybe it's in front, maybe it's on your side. If it's in your body, maybe it reaches up and over for another prop. So you're going to be relying on your right side over top of something. The most important part of this entire pose is, well, A, to feel comfortable. B, it's that opening along the left side of the rib cage. So you may have to play around with it a little bit to see what feels right for you in your body. So know that if lying on one hip for a while is not the best sensation for you, feel free to grab something, fold a blanket or something to place underneath the hips. So remember also, you are not stuck in any pose. You can make adjustments if you need to along the way, change anything. If you need to come out, you certainly can. Listening to your body. Yeah, and we play around with it a little bit until we find that perfect place. Taking deep inhales again and long, slow exhales. What kind of breath feels the best for you here? Softening your head, your shoulders, allowing your hips to sink and settle. Noticing again what you feel in your body. And notice what part of your body is feeling something the most. In your mind, incline gently toward that spot. Soften into that location of your body. Let your muscles become soft as if you were applying heat to sore muscles. You can always say to yourself, soft, 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 to help with this process. Remember, you are not trying to make the sensation go away. You're just being with the sensation with loving awareness. If you wish, you can let yourself just soften around the edges. No need to go all the way in. I've heard it compared to a pancake, softening around the edges of the pancake. And then soothe yourself. Perhaps bring kind words to your mind, such as, beloved, this is an uncomfortable experience. May I grow in ease and well-being. If you wish, you can direct kindness to the part of your body that is feeling sensation. It may help to think of your body as that of someone you love unconditionally. You may say kind words to yourself or just repeat the words: soothe, soothe, soothe. Okay, so whenever you're ready, if that left arm is up overhead, bringing it back down by your side, maybe in front of your chest or torso somewhere, and then using that left hand to help you slowly come up to seated. And then you're just going to turn your body around so that you have the left side coming over your props. So left side, the same thing. We're just doing the other side. Whatever feels right for you. On the side, it might be different. You might have to adjust some props a little bit. Notice if it feels like you're trying to hold yourself up somehow. Relax and soften into the earth. That discomfort that you may feel in your body will come and go at its own time, kind of like a guest in your own home. Allow it to be there and then allow it to go at its own time. Perhaps you say, allow, allow, allow. Soften, soothe, allow. Soften, soothe, allow. You can use these 3 words like a mantra, reminding yourself to incline with tenderness towards whatever you are feeling. Remember that anything that is there will pass at its own time. It will not remain there forever. If your mind begins to wander back to your breath, or come back to the three words: soften, soothe, allow. Gently bringing your awareness back. Allowing that right arm to slowly come back over if it's extended up overhead. Bringing that hand in front of your torso. And then using that hand to help you slowly come up to seated. Our next pose is a reclined goddess pose. So you will need a blanket that you're going to roll up long, and the blanket is going to go from, at the very least, the tailbone to the top of your head, if not a little bit longer or a lot longer, just depending on your blanket. So we don't want the blanket roll to be too thick. It's going to go down our spine. And also, if you have a couple of blocks or pillows or something for the legs, feel free to grab them and bring them close to you so that when you come down onto your back, you're able to grab a hold of them. You're going to come down onto that blanket roll. Depending on what feels good for you, tailbone can be on or off the blanket. So notice if it feels like it's too thick, unroll it a little bit, or maybe change the fold of your blanket. All right, so it's up to you what you wish to do with your legs. It can be the same as before, knees together, feet apart, legs can be long, or it can offer you goddess legs here as an option. So goddess legs, we're gonna bring our feet all the way to the edges of the mat. And then we're gonna turn the toes out. Activate the feet, so slightly curl back the toes. And then allow the knees to drop open. You may have to walk your feet down the mat a little bit so it doesn't feel like too much of an opening. And then finding your props, placing them maybe where the hip meets the thigh or maybe underneath the knees. And then once you find a comfortable place for your legs, we'll find something for the arms. So depending on what feels good for you, I'll offer you goddess arms or cactus arms, but you can always change. So goalpost arms, I guess you can call them. Elbows are bent, arms are at about 90 degrees, elbows come out from the shoulders, fingernails to the earth, if that feels good. And if not, hands can come down by your sides, palms face up. Maybe arms are in a T shape. Maybe arms are up overhead, fingernails to the earth. Find whatever feels good for you in your body. So again, if you need to make adjustments at any point, you certainly can. I now invite you to imagine the most loving person you know. And think about what they would say to you. What sorts of loving things would they say? How would they hold you or comfort you? How would that feel in your body, in your mind, in your heart? Imagine how they would treat you, what they would say to you, how they would comfort you. And notice what you feel in your body. Can you take that sensation that you feel, whatever is coming up for you, send it to the part of you that is calling out for your attention, if it's still there. If not, just stay with the feeling, that love, kindness, compassion. Can you incline into that feeling? Lean into it, feel into it. Maybe you allow it to spread and slowly fill your body. Can you continue holding that feeling and perhaps release the image of the person who inspired it? Gently bringing your awareness back. All right, so to bring your legs back, activate your feet, bring the knees back to center. Whenever you feel ready, if it's comfortable, you're going to extend one arm long up by the ear, roll over onto that arm, and then use your hands to help you come up to seated. And we are already at Shavasana or any final resting pose that feels good for you. So as you find a comfortable place here on the earth, I'm going to kick out a dog who woke up and is going to cause a lot of noise. Come in. Come on, go. Good boy. Oh, Shavasana. Did I? Sorry, any comfortable position for you lying on the earth. Returning to the sensation of your breath. Do you wish to maybe breathe into your diaphragm here or return to that three-part breath? Allowing your head to soften. Releasing any tension you feel around your eyes, your forehead, your jaw. Allowing your shoulders to soften. allowing your hips to soften. Allow this to be an opportunity to let go. Let go of any tension that you feel. Returning to those touch points again on the earth. And as you soften and let go just a little bit more, notice if your body starts to kind of spread out on the earth, those touch points becoming a little bit bigger, maybe more areas touching the earth. And while you are here, I invite you to honor yourself. Honor all of your past, your mistakes, your triumphs, all the decisions you have made to get you to this point in your life. Honor the times that you fell to your knees and the times you rose above yourself. Honor all of your present. Honor this moment full of possibility, hope, and openness. Honor yourself for showing up here to practice, to learn, to grow, and evolve. Honor yourself for trying, no matter what the circumstances are. You are doing your best. Honor your courage and your strength. Honor all of your future, the lands and experiences that lay before you, the relationships that you are yet to have. Honor all the outcomes of all the choices you make today, knowing that you are being guided and looked after. Honor all parts of yourself, all the sweetness, all the struggles. And honor yourself for being you. releasing your practice, releasing your day, releasing anything that is no longer needed. Bringing your awareness back to the touch points of your body on the earth. Noticing any sounds around you, maybe sounds in the distance. And then sounds close to you, possibly your breath, your heartbeat, your pulse. Maybe you notice some light behind your eyelids if your eyes are still closed. Maybe there's a smell in the air. And then bringing some small movements into your body. Maybe those smaller movements become bigger movements. Whenever you feel ready, rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. Perhaps taking a moment here to find gratitude for your practice, gratitude for yourself for carving out this time to take care of your body, your mind, and your heart. And whenever you're ready, making your way up to seated. And once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. Taking deep inhales in through your nose into your diaphragm, and long, slow exhales out. As you inhale, I invite you to inhale self-compassion, inhale love, and inhale peace. And as you exhale, releasing anything that is standing in your way. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. That light is a place of peace, love, kindness, and compassion. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, there is no difference and no distance between us. Together we are the same. We are one. Thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful evening.